Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is Daily Drop number 104. All right, folks, you finally convinced me. I finally did it. I did what I said I was never going to do, and I joined Twitter. This is me hanging my head in shame. All kidding aside, I think that Twitter is going to be a good vehicle for us to connect with other content creators and other people that are following this story and people that are craving information in this story. I think it's an important resource for us to use, and I think this story is so important that I'm willing to even dive into the Twitter fray. So I'll try and keep that Twitter account as up to date as possible. It'll be following everything that I have going on in regards to the show, where I plan on going to do some reporting on the ground, etc., etc. As you all know, I am heading out for Santa Fe after the weekend, and I'll be in Santa Fe and the Stanley area for 4 or 5 days. So I'm going down there to do a little bit of reporting on Jeffrey Epstein's time in Santa Fe. Since we don't have enough information on that, I thought that it would be a good place for us to kick things off. Now, if you would like to follow me on Twitter, you can do that at Bobbycapucci, and it's BOBBY_CAPUCCI. That's BOBBY_CAPUCCI. So make sure you go and you follow the Twitter account so you can keep up to date with what's going on with the show, what I have planned in the future, and any other projects that we're working on in regards to Jeffrey Epstein. So with that said, we're going to go back to Judge Preska's courtroom. Now, you remember when we last talked about Judge Preska, the word was that she was not unsealing the documents in the Virginia Roberts and Ghislaine Maxwell defamation case. Now, she made the ruling, but it was with a narrow scope, meaning that she could go back and revisit that ruling if new evidence presented itself. Well, 2 days later, and I guess new evidence has presented itself, folks. Tonight, we have an article from the Daily Beast, and that article was written by Kate Bricolette. Bricolette? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry, Kate, if I pronounced your name wrong. I'm not great at the whole name thing. Anyway, the headline is Sealed Epstein Documents Name Persons of Means in Sex Abuse Case. Wow. A federal court in New York is preparing to release more sealed documents in a 2015 defamation suit filed by Virginia Roberts, a victim of dead sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, against his alleged madam, British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, and co-conspirator and fellow pedophile and fellow disgusting human being. But first, the court will conduct an individualized review of the pleadings that would give attorneys for Maxwell, Roberts, and mysterious parties identified as John Does 1 and 2 the opportunity to weigh countervailing factors such as privacy that would limit public access. All right, so I'm really interested to know who John Does 1 and 2 are. All right, I have a few ideas, but I'm not going to speculate. We'll wait to see if they get released, and then we'll go from there. But I am very interested to see who John Doe's 1 and John Doe number 2 is. As part of the review process, other secret non-parties to the case who are named in the documents, including other alleged victims and people accused of having sex with Roberts, will need to be notified ahead of the unsealing and have the option to object. After those objections are filed, legal teams for Maxwell and Roberts will have a chance to file their own oppositions. All right, folks, so it's gearing up now. You gotta think people are starting to sweat now. You have to think someone like Bill Richardson is not getting a good restful night of sleep. All right? You have to think the other people named by Virginia Roberts are not getting good nights of sleep. And guess what? It's about time. It is about time. How many years did Virginia Roberts go to sleep at night and not have a good night's sleep? How many nightmares did she have? I'm sure a ton. I'm sure a ton. So what I have to say about that is I hope that Bill Richardson and these other people that are named by Virginia Roberts are squirming in their skin right now. On Thursday, U.S. District Judge Judge Preska suggested reviewing the sealed motions in the now-settled case on a rolling basis in groups of 5. Look, again, like I always say, I'm certainly not a lawyer, folks. I don't know much about the law besides, the basic stuff about law. When it gets into the nuanced portions of the law and what, precedent is, previous and other cases, I don't know any of that stuff, right? But what I do know is this. Doesn't sound like a bad idea, groups of 5, and it'll probably get things rolling, right? If she does it that way. Maybe get expedite the case a little bit, because it's been one of these cases that's been hanging around forever. Let's get some movement here. And let's start getting to the bottom of this, because everybody who's even paid just a little bit of attention to this case understands that Maxwell is so guilty it's not even funny. Maxwell's lawyer, Laura Menninger, told the court that some of the non-parties are persons of means. Oh, that's nice. Or otherwise have counsel. Persons of means, huh? Yeah, so what that means is that these people are rich, they're powerful, and they have, or otherwise have counsel. Yeah, that's exactly what that means. These are the elite. These are the people that Virginia Roberts was talking about. The people that allegedly assaulted her are all of these people that are the people of means. All right, so let's get some names. I hope, like I've said on Tuesday, I'm really holding on to hope that Judge Preska does the right thing. I've done some more research on Judge Preska, and she's pretty transparent for the most part. And I really just hope that this is the beginning of something good here, folks. While others live outside of the country or don't have means to enlist counsel to file their objections under seal. Menninger asked for alternatives to submit their objections via letter. Meanwhile, Sigrid McCauley, Roberts' attorney, expressed concerns over a document dump that would portray Roberts in a bad light. She said the only pleadings Maxwell has agreed to unseal are those that would be negative to my client. And of course, that's all that Maxwell is going to try and get unsealed, right? Like I said earlier, everybody thinks they're the good guy in their story. Even Ghislaine Maxwell thinks she's the good guy. Everybody knows, though, that she is as evil is. I mean, has there ever been a more horrific woman? McCauley said it would be unfair to release those documents, which wouldn't need review because there's no countervailing interests, without other sealed court papers that would perhaps paint a fuller picture of the case. But Judge Preska disagreed, saying there would be no justification to withholding the documents from the public. So I hope that goes both ways, right? And I think it does. I think Preska's setting it up here so that she can smack one out of the park and get this ball moving and get these documents out into the public eye. Now remember, she's already released those 2,000 documents, so it's not like she's above releasing this stuff, right? I think that if she feels like she has the legal means to release this stuff, she's going to want to release it. I just have a feeling that she wants this stuff out there as well to kind of get this case moving and get some resolution, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want, resolution in this case. After the proceeding, Menninger ducked into an elevator, avoiding questions from a Daily Beast reporter who asked whether she'd seen or heard from Maxwell. Since Epstein's arrest in July 2019, Maxwell has disappeared from the public eye. Virginia is very pleased that this process is starting and that the court is taking seriously the release of these documents, McCauley told reporters outside the federal courthouse. It's always been her position that there should be public access to these documents, as we've seen as recently as yesterday in the U.S. Virgin Islands. They filed a complaint outlining this over 20-year history of Epstein's sexual abuse of young females. And Virginia Roberts has been very steadfast in what she said, folks. She has always talked about how she wants justice in this case and how she won't rest until she has it. And you know what? We're with her. We are with her at this point. She is 100% right. Nobody should rest until there's justice in this case. Like I said, we'll turn our head the other way and we'll ignore their stealing. We'll ignore their grifting. We'll ignore their cheating on their wives. But this sex trafficking and having relations with underage girls? Sorry, not looking the other way, not ignoring that, never. Get ready, because we're coming 1,000% foot all the way down on the pedal and the pedal to the metal. There's no holding back on these people, right? These people need to be brought to justice. The Daily Beast reported the Attorney General of the U.S. Virgin Islands filed a lawsuit on Wednesday that accuses Epstein and his inner circle of trafficking girls as young as 11 years old, as recently as 2018. It's been Virginia's mission to expose that abuse, and we're hopeful that through the court's review process that will occur and that these documents will get released, Macaulay said, adding that the Virgin Islands case highlights that Epstein's sexual abuse of girls was going on all over the world for many, many years. Look, folks, they say it right here. I mean, it couldn't be even more clear. All right? It was going on all over the world for many years. Why they don't have a RICO case against these people yet, I don't know. And I'm sorry to keep bringing it up, and I'm sorry to keep beating the dead horse, but come on, folks. There is no excuse when you look at what the RICO statutes what they state, and then you look at what Jeffrey Epstein was engaged in and what his inner circle was engaged in. Why, you have to ask yourself, why in the name of hell would they not want to slap these people with RICO and get this moving? Bring them in, put them to the screws, have them flip on each other until it goes all the way up to up the ladder, and we have the big fish, okay? That's how it works. But for some reason, in this case, that is never how it worked. Nothing in this case is the way it should be. Nothing, folks. And that is why everybody is not accepting the official narrative. That is why we refuse to believe the nonsense they're trying to force feed us. Stop with the gaslighting. We've had enough. We no longer believe your BS. And that's just the way it is. And that's the way it's going to be going forward. All right, everybody, if you'd like to contact me, you can do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI@protonmail.com. And now, oh boy, this is weird. Now you can also contact me on Twitter at Bobby_Capucci. All right, everybody, I'll be back tomorrow with the morning update. We're going to do an evolution episode tomorrow. And, of course, the daily drop. The fight continues. I'll talk to everybody tomorrow.